created. Everything surrounding me, you made it. Everything so beautiful, the way it flows together. I think I hear birds singing your praises. Amen. I swear you make me feel like I'm your favorite. Ooh, it's the way the birds fly across the sunset sky. I feel like you did it for me. It's the way your love feels. It's the way that I hear all of creation singing with me. It's the way the fruit grows and knows when to let go. And it's time looking for a new season. I feel like you did it for me, yeah. Listen to the water, listen how it flows. You really thought of everything. I wonder how much I miss getting caught up.
Hey y'all,
You never meant me to.
what's going on? We gonna talk rage today.
It's the way the birds fly across the sunset sky. I feel like you did it for me. It's the way your love feels. It's the way that I hear all of creation singing with me. It's the way the fruit grows and the ones that let go. And it's time looking for a new season. I feel like you did it for me, yeah. What was it like? The moment that you spoke and everything around you changed.
You want to use this one? You welcome.
Was it beautiful? You saw everything you made. And this crazy thing in the midst of it all, you already knew my name. And the more that I see you, the more
I'm about to get ready to go. I'm about to really share.
it's the way the birds fly across the sunset sky. I feel like you did it for me.
God did it for me.
It's the way that I hear all of creation singing with me. It's the way the fruit grows and knows when to let go. When it's time looking for a new season. I feel like you did it for me.
Oh no? Do they have the door lock? Because I know they be having the door lock.
Yeah, I think it's locked.
Yeah. So, hey y'all. Hey, thank you all for tapping in and tuning in to my channel. Or whichever platform that you may hear this on. I am Coach Gant, the R.A.G.E coach. What's going on, everybody? Sorry, guys. My hair just be doing what it want to do. But I want to really just talk rage today. I really want to talk rage because it's so imperative and it's so important that we share or we really understand what rage is. God has definitely called me in this season to be much more, open and honest and transparent about the rage that I have experienced, the rage that I have dealt with. So we're going to talk rage. We're going to talk rage. I want to share my journey to how I found out I was dealing with rage. Just a lot. So, who am I? I am Coach Gant, the R.A.G.E coach. I teach women and youth who have experienced trauma how to overcome their rage by aligning their truth with God's purpose so that you may become resilient, walk in freedom, and empower others. Right? It's let me before I jump ahead, ahead. Whew. Sorry, guys. What is rage by definition? What is rage by definition? Anger, pain, frustration, unresolved. I'm going to just read it to you guys. Rage is an intense, uncontrollable form of anger that often results in aggressive behavior or loss of emotional control. And when God told me that I was dealing with rage, I'm like, how am I dealing with rage? Because, I was first thought that rage was, you got to be, you so angry. I mean, I was angry, but I was dealing with silent rage, if that makes sense, right? My rage was rejection, abandonment, grief, expectations, but it also resonates with resentment, anxiety, anger, emotional trauma, guilt, embarrassment. It deals with all of those things as well too. So when I had to I want to share my story of how I not came up, but how I discovered that I was dealing with rage. So back in 2022 is when God revealed it to me, but it started when I was a child. It started way before then, childhood trauma. So in February 2022, I went to my friend house to go stay with my friend. And when I went to my friend house to go stay with my friend, okay, so on my way to go stay with my friend, my daughter called me and she was like, Mom, we can't stay with Grandma no more. So let me give you guys a backstory. Let me not be all over the place. Bring it back, Lord. So I got evicted September 17, 2021. I went to 3 different hotels before I came to stay with my mom in Pennsylvania. I was staying with my mom for 6 months. I was determined to go back to the place where I got evicted because I felt in my heart that's where God told me to go. But circumstances, finances, money, and everything just didn't allow me to be able to do that. I'm looking around because I always pay attention to my surroundings. Even though I feel like I am in a safe place, I just pay attention. So it's not scared paranoia, I just pay attention. So anyway, I went to go stay with her. 6 months into me staying with her, I was talking to my girlfriend at that time, and then she had paid for me a ticket to come to her house in Houston. So I went out to her house in Houston. On my way out to Houston to go to go visit her, my daughter calls me and she says, Mom, we can't stay at Grandma's house no more. So how humiliating is that? You on your way to go visit your friend and you got to tell your friend you can't even return back. You just on vacation. So I, get to Houston. I tell my friend that my daughter, which my mom told me or whatever. And my friend, she embraced it. She said, oh, well, you can stay with me. I had a room with her, and I had my own room at her house. I got a job a couple of days later because she had a assisted living. It was an assisted living place down from her house, which was walking distance. So I was able to get a job and everything. I just know that God does things purposely for me, right? Even though it don't make sense in that moment, it all makes sense later. Everything works together for the good, whether the enemy try to, throw a monkey wrench in it or not. So I stayed there. So, when I got down there, I was crying out to God. I'm like, God, what is really going on? What is really going on? I'm like, it just was like one thing after another. So I just couldn't really understand what was really happening. And I was crying out to him, and he said, you are dealing with rage. So now I'm not thinking that, I'm thinking, I'm going to be honest, it's another voice, because I'm not thinking that I'm dealing with rage. Because remind you, I told you guys that I told you guys before, I'm not thinking that I'm dealing with rage, because I thought rage was just really loud, you fighting. I thought that's what was rage. But he come to tell me, though, that I was silently raging. And I'm like, I'm dealing with rage. So I'm like, well, what kind of rage am I dealing with? Right? And I'm like, because I'm not really understanding. And he like, you're dealing with rejection, you're dealing with abandonment, you dealing with guilt, you dealing with embarrassment. And I'm like, I'm dealing with that? I'm like, oh. So he said, you have self-reflect, daughter. Go back to your childhood. Go back to self-reflect. So as I'm sitting in the room and I'm laying on the bed, and I start to think about from birth, Now, only God could do this because I couldn't have thought of that. I didn't even think that I was raging, so I'm not even going to think about, my childhood. I didn't reach that point of my spiritual journey, that point of my healing. So I'm not thinking about this stuff. So I'm like, rejection. Oh, I was rejected as a kid. Oh, my mother left me in the hospital. My parents didn't want me. That was rejection. Oh, abandonment. Oh, they abandoned me. Oh, guilt, because I'm homeless in this situation now and I'm dealing with guilt, mom guilt, different guilts. I'm like, oh, embarrassed. I'm embarrassed that my mom is an addict, my dad is a transgender. So embarrassment. I'm like, oh, so that's what you mean by I'm dealing with rage. So I'm having all of these emotions and all of these things on me, but it stemmed from childhood that it developed even into my adult years. So I couldn't move forward until I dealt with that, until I dealt with the rage that I was dealing with. Oh, man. Oh, God is so good. So, I had to begin. This is how I developed, got the four, not I, but this is how God gave me the 4 key steps to being able to tackle the rage that has kept us out of purpose. I had to begin to identify, right? But how did I have to identify? I had to begin to self-reflect. You know what I'm saying? I had to go back to where it all began as me being a child. Oh, okay, so identify. Then I had to acknowledge and accept the fact that this is what it is. This is where I am. Oh, okay. Then I had to begin to seek the help and or resources. So I did try a therapist or whatever. Therapy, I'm not against therapy. I'm not opposed to it. But the help that I needed, I needed God. Because I feel like some therapists, I just haven't found my one. Some therapists is just surface level. But what I was dealing with was deep, right? So that's why I'm so locked in with God, because God brought those things up out of me. God revealed things to me that it broke me, but it helped me. God will hurt your feelings to save your life, right? And he revealed that to me, and I know it only had to be God, because the devil is not going to tell you these things to help you heal. And when those things came to the surface, I knew that it was time for me to really deal with it. So why am I saying this? We in a time, in a space where a lot of us are dealing with, rage. Rage identifies with everybody differently, and I had to come to understand that, like I said, it goes back to resentment. It goes back to addiction. It stems from like pain. It stems from fear. The things that my childhood trauma was really what caused my rage, and it'll follow me into my adulthood. It affected my relationships with people. It affected my relationships when it came to my family, because I couldn't understand. My mom left me at the hospital, and she still laugh about it to this day and make a mockery and make a joke out of it. Like, I left your black A at the hospital. And it's just like, wow. My grandmother had to come and get me, and she brought me home. And I do know that is a lot of trauma in my family. It's a lot of trauma. But it still doesn't negate the fact that we are human. I have feelings. Like, those things hurted me, because I didn't ask to be here. So me not asking to be here, I know God allowed them as a vessel to bring me here, but I didn't ask to be here. So for me to be here and be treated the way that I was treated, it really hurted me. And this is actually the first time I'm actually sharing this out loud, because it's that time that truth should be exposed. Truth should be spoken, because the only way that we get healed is by sharing truth. My truth I'm sharing is not to expose anyone, it's to help someone else overcome. But I had to deal with these things by myself first. I had to get grounded in God and trust God and understand that this all worked for my good, right? For this moment. I don't believe that it was meant for me to, mean as far as, I don't think that was the intention to say like, okay, I'm gonna bring her here and allow her mother to mistreat her. But we all got free will. We all got choices and decisions that we all make. So even though it was meant for bad, God still turned it into for my good. He still turned it in for my good. So I want to ask you guys, can you guys resonate with this? Have you guys ever dealt with rage? Have you dealt with resentment, anxiety, grief, grudges, emotional trauma, resentment, even remembrance? When you remember something that hurted you, that also can create rage. You know what I'm saying? Because the pain was so deep. The pain cut so deep that it causes some type of rage. And rage is not always with fighting, because that's what I thought. I was silently raging. I was silently raging. But I thanks be to God, because all of that I had experienced, it helped me to become a better person to this day. It helps me to understand that all things work together for the good. It helps me to trust God even the more, even when I don't understand, because I wasn't just rejected by my parents, I was rejected by my family. You know, I'm still like being rejected by my family. But the difference between then and now, I understand that to be honest, my family is really, really spiritually blind. We don't have a big mama. We don't have no one that we could go to in our family and that could come and pray with us and pray for us. We don't have that. I never seen that in my family. If I could just be honest, I never seen that. So I had to understand that and learn that. And God said, this is why I called you to be the curse breaker of your bloodline. This is why I'm raising you up, for you to stand in the gap. And, and I get a lot of pushback because a lot of people think that I'm crazy. They think something is wrong with me. And God said, when people are spiritually blind, they will think that. They don't. What I'm doing is foreign to them. We don't come from that type of background. We don't come from that type of life. You don't have people in the family saying, well, we going to pray together. We going to get through this. We going to support each other. It's lack of communication. It's hustle mentality. It's just a lot. So I know, a lot of people can relate and understand the things that I have experienced. This is not a pity story. This is my reality. This is my truth, right? God gave me rage July 2022, and it's funny, full circle moment. It's July 1st 2026, and I'm releasing this full testimony of like my childhood, of where did it all start from. It started from my childhood. We have to really go back. That's why God gave me the 4 key steps to release the rage. You have to self-reflect. You have to identify. You got to self-reflect, because how do you identify? You got to go back. And sometimes when you go back, those spots is hard to really sit in. You got to go back, and you got to, I had to really come to the realization, like, my mother and my father, they left me. Like, they abandoned me. My mother still makes jokes to this day about how she left my black A in the hospital. It's like, dang, I didn't ask to be here. Like, why do I get treated like that? You know what I'm saying? So, my dad, I do believe my dad loved me. My dad is really bound. He's bound by the demonic force. He's bound, but he has a lot of trauma. Both of my parents have a lot of trauma, but they have to recognize that they have a lot of trauma, and they have to release the rage. You know what I'm saying? So they have to release the things that they grew up in. So it's just a cycle. So I'm sitting here today, and I'm breaking these cycles. So it is going to be pushback, because they normalize trauma. They normalize just different things. So I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stand for the truth. I'm going to do what God said. I'm going to be bold. I'm going to be authentic. I'm going to be real. So when you doing that, you go against the status quo. You go against what people think and what people feel, and that's okay. That's truly okay. I'm okay with that. I'm truly okay with that. But I wanted to share that, the testimony of, about rage. Rage didn't just come because I'm just sitting here just playing with my fingers and just coming up with just different things. Rage was birthed because of the pain that I have experienced from a child. I have dealt with a lot of trauma, even as an adult, and it followed me throughout my adult years. So, it's not healthy as well neither. So I wanted to share that with you all. Sorry, guys. I wanted to share that with you all. Rage is a real thing. I know a lot of people. Okay. Sorry, I was looking at a text message. Sorry. So, it is really a thing. Rage is really a thing. It's not just a trendy saying. It's really a thing that I know that our culture, we really, really deals with. We really deals with rage. So God has gifted me with a 4-key step blueprint the 4-key step blueprint to release the rage. If you guys are feeling not really sure about how to deal with this, I know I talk to a lot of people. They don't like to own the fact that they're dealing with rage because they think it's a bad thing. But it's not such a bad thing. It's a thing that we all need to be healed from. Y'all see I'm sweating? I am hot. It is hot. But we all deal with some sort of rage, and God has gifted me with a 4-key step blueprint, a 12-week one-to-one coaching, 45-minute vent session, the wisdom drop session to be able to help you guys overcome this rage. Every day I still, when I begin to start raging, I'm like, oh, okay, let me see what happened. Let me identify why this rage popped up. Why am I raging? You know what I'm saying? Let me go back and self-reflect. So it's definitely something that would definitely benefit you guys and help you guys. So if you guys have any questions, or, I'm going to leave my booking information in the description, my email. You could contact me, reach out to me. Let's talk. You know what I'm saying? Let's heal together, because you're not in this by yourself. I'm also still on my healing journey. I have healed from those broken pieces in my life, because it's been 4 years. But every day we healing from something. Every day we going through something. You know what I'm saying? So I want to be able to help you all. I truly, truly do. We bias towards rage, right? We bias towards rage. Bias means we begin, we identify, we acknowledge, and we seek the help that has kept us all out of purpose. A therapist didn't do it for me. I needed God. That's why I lock in. That's why I give it up to him and for him each and every time, because he's the one that brought me out. I can't give no one else the glory but the Father, because he's the only one that brought me out of rage. I can't say nobody else. God has really brought me out of rage onto the other side to be able to help you guys overcome the rage that has kept each and every one of us out of purpose. Sorry, the noise. He has given me something to help each and every one of us overcome the rage that has kept us all out of purpose. So I hope that this testimony have spoken to you guys, giving you guys some type of hope. Don't be afraid. It's no judgment here. We all dealt with it. We all deal with things or whatever. A lot of people, like I said, when I come in contact, they don't think that they're dealing with rage, because a lot of people had the same understanding that I did. They feel like they don't fight. They feel like they don't do certain things, so they don't think that they're dealing with rage. But that's the furthest from the truth. Rage identifies with the whole opposite of what people think. And only God gave me that. Only God could have told me that, because I have no idea. So I'm gonna leave my information in the description, my booking information and my email. Contact me. Let's talk about it. Let's heal together. I love you all with the love of Christ. Be blessed. Bye for now.